What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and if you've noticed lately on the channel, we've been taking a look at a lot of smart home products, and I feel like in the last year especially, there's been a lot of focus on both desk setups and living rooms specifically. So whether it is like home tech upgrades, renovations, appliances, and all these like cool items that are both like functional but also sometimes a little bit crazy, an area that I've also loved checking out is stuff for the home theater or living room theater to really elevate your experience of watching movies, sports, and games from home. In 2021, there's a lot of great options out there in all different categories, whether it is the traditional TVs, as well as 4K laser projectors, but also standard projectors. I've also seen a lot of great advancements and products that are available at much higher qualities and at more affordable prices. And today we're taking a look at the XGIMI 4K Horizon Pro, and I want to give a huge thanks to them for sponsoring this video. And if you guys would like to win a 4K Horizon Pro projector, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video, and also leave a comment down below of your favorite feature, and follow me over on Instagram while leaving your Instagram handle down below, and I'll be contacting a winner in 3 weeks. So when it comes to building the ultimate home theater, it really does come down to what you might need. A TV is like a very traditional method, but it takes up space on the wall and are limited to certain sizes. And short throw projectors are also somewhat limited depending on your setup. But I would say one of the most flexible options overall is a standard projector like this, because at its form factor and how compact it is, the amount of tech that it packs is impressive. Just to summarize, it has a 4K resolution and it's able to project up to 300 inches, which is absolutely insane. So if you guys want to do like an outdoor theater, you can definitely do that. It's got great speakers, but I also like the fact that it turns on and is ready to go in just 6 seconds. Over the years, I've taken a look at a lot of different projectors out there. And even though it was always a lot of fun, there were often like drawbacks that were very common with certain form factors, such as overheating, the image quality not being quite good enough, long startup times, and the audio also not being very good, just because all that form factor was just to have like the fans and everything to keep the system cool. Just getting the box open and also setting it up for the very first time, it is overall very simple and seamless experience. It comes with the projector itself, a really high quality remote actually with a Google Assistant button that is nicely made out of metal, and it also comes with the power adapter and instructions. To go ahead and set it up, you plug it in and it is ready to go. It actually has a very good auto keystone calibration process that allows you to have it align perfectly right after you turn it on, and if you have a projector screen, it is actually able to smart align that as well, while giving you some manual control if you really need to, but for the most part, it was able to set up and go right away. The automatic calibration even has an intelligent obstacle avoidance, which is actually able to see through its camera if there is something in the way and adjust the screen size according to it. That is always very nice because everybody's setup is a little bit different, but I think what's cool is that this is like in a very nice box size that you can take anywhere. So it's about 1 foot by 1 foot or even under that, and you can like just throw this in the car, take it on vacation or whatever it is, or you can even set up something outside. It is just like a very light and easy unit to travel with, and it's just like nicely contained, and I feel like if you want to really take this anywhere, you definitely can, and it just has like everything that you need built into this one box, and it's a cool experience, especially if you have like a large gathering, because of just how large the image is able to produce at that 4K resolution. I think from the design standpoint, they have done a great job here. It has like a metal finish with nice vents that go all the way around, and I would almost say it looks a little bit like the Sonos grill, and that is where it allows the sound and the acoustic to really project in a nice stereo pattern. I also like the fact that for a projector that can be portable, every single port is covered. You do have your DC as well as an optical, 2 USB 2.0 ports for multimedia, 2 HDMI ports, and also an Ethernet and headphone jack if you want to go ahead and connect like your hardwired internet to it. So I feel like they definitely do have both the permanent setup and also portable setup in mind. So when you're at home and want the most reliable connection possible, you can still connect it via Ethernet. But I do also like the fact that you do have the option to plug it into your own sound system with the optical output and the HDMI ARC, which is the audio return channel, so you can connect it to like a sound bar or just like your hi-fi setup at home. So when it comes to ports, I feel like they've covered everything very nicely, and the only port that I would have liked to have seen, because it is 2021, is USB Type-C. Even if they did like one USB 2 and one USB Type-C, I think that would be really good. But other than that, all the main ports, such as having the option to use like both HDMI ARC and optical as well as Ethernet, are already like more than you could ask for in a projector that you can bring anywhere. You also have a set of direct buttons on the top that are nicely touch capacitive for the volume control, the play pause, and the power. So when it comes to the image quality itself, as I mentioned, this is a 4K projector. There's also a model that is just called the Horizon, and that is at a 1080p resolution and has a similar portable form factor. But being a 4K model, it is a true 4K resolution that provides over 8.3 million total pixels and projects up to 300 inches depending on your setup. In a standard 12-foot setup from the screen, it is able to give you a projection of about 120 inches, and in my office, typically I am maxed out at about 120 inches, but if I was to bring it outside and set it up with like an inflatable projector screen that you can buy on Amazon, then you really get that full experience of a 300-inch image, which is incredible. It is also 2200 ANSI lumens, so you can use it during the daytime to some degree, but I will admit with any projector out there, you're gonna get the best projection and image quality experience in the evening. XGIMI also has a unique image engine system called the XView, and it significantly increases the clarity and fidelity of dynamic pictures by having AI brightness adjustment, image noise reduction, clarity enhancement, and also the color revivification. The utilization of like the sensors and AI technology all comes together to give you the best image quality possible, but also the best automatic calibration out of the box without having to like manually tinker with it for a long period of time. And you're also gonna see like a small camera and sensor set on the front, which really contributes to some of the AI features to enhance and also optimize the image quality depending on your setting, but also the actual keystone and focus calibration. This all comes together to give you the optimal settings in both the day and night mode, because it is a very different situation. If it was running at the full 2200 ANSI lumens in the evening, your eyes are probably going to hurt after that. So it's nice that it is able to adapt, because in the daytime, you obviously need that brightness to have the image show nicely. A lot of times at night though, you just want to be able to calibrate it based on the current scenario. When it comes to the image quality though, this is easily the area I was most impressed by. I've tested out projectors of this size and also dedicated projectors in the past that were much larger, but as soon as I turned this on with all the calibration features and how I was able to adapt the environment, the colors were spot on, the sharpness was there, and just given the form factor of the projector itself, I was just impressed by how good and how sharp of an image that it was able to produce. Beyond just looking at it through my own eyes, the other way that I was also really able to tell the accuracy was through my camera. I use histograms when I'm filming my videos, and it gives me like an indication of the overall white balance and just the general color balance. And a lot of times when I'm reviewing like TVs and projectors, I have to change the settings to like an extreme just to be able to balance out the whites of the projector screen. And in this case, I didn't have to do that at all. Even with a really good performance, it did stay very quiet as well. As I said at the start of the video, I used to have projectors that were just like really loud, and the whole time you're trying to watch a movie, it would just be the fans like absolutely blasting, trying to keep that image up, and it just wasn't very feasible that way. So this right here actually stays under 30 decibels, and on top of that, there are Harman Kardon speakers that are built in. It has an acoustic that pushes the sound out through dual 8-watt speakers on both sides. That gives you like a very nice stereo sound with good bass response, and you essentially can't really hear the fan if you're sitting a couple feet away, because the speakers do a pretty good job of drowning that out. They definitely aren't the loudest speakers and aren't gonna beat like a dedicated speaker setup, but if you're just out and about and don't wanna bring like any additional pieces, then it is able to do a great job. And even if you wanna plug it into like your Bluetooth speaker through the 3.5, you can definitely do that to improve your experience. But I just like the fact that the speakers are still an area of focus, they sound good, and you still have the option to plug it into your home setup through the available ports. So here's a bit of a sound test of the Harman Kardon speakers that are built in. My main uses when it comes to a projector is like watching sports, like Formula 1, boxing especially when you have quite a few people over, or hockey, and I also do like to watch like movies and stuff very occasionally. But in terms of gaming, I would say like, yeah, it was a good experience, but the latency is definitely not as low as you would find on a dedicated TV. It has 40 automatic keystone correction, autofocus, intelligent screen alignment, and also the obstacle avoidance, where if you have something that is in the way or like cutting off the image, it will actually see that and let you know. So when it comes to like the core most important features of a projector that is portable, but also one that you can use at home, especially at its price point, I feel like the XGIMI Horizon Pro does check all the boxes of good image quality, a large projection, a great resolution, HDR support for content that is compatible, as well as great speakers and a good thermal setup so that the fans are not that loud. It has done a really good job in those areas. But now moving on to like the other things that we usually look at in the projectors, and that is like the actual software setup and the smart aspect of these things. Because a lot of times you may not want to bring like an external streaming stick or whatever it is with you, and so the actual interface that is built in is just as important. It uses an Android TV based system, and that is actually what I've been used to for the last year because some of my other TVs also utilize Android TV, and from there you're able to download the streaming services that you might need, but also have the ability to stream via Chromecast. So if you're like on your smartphone, you can just click one button and stream to this right away, and that is actually my favorite method to stream because a lot of times I just don't like to use like the remote buttons to type something in or search up a movie or a YouTube video, and instead I type it in on my phone, press a button, and it will start playing right away. It also does have AirPlay support if you go ahead and install the software, but generally speaking, I think the interface is really easy to navigate. It has what you need and the streaming platforms that you would typically download. And moving on to the remote control, that is the first thing that I noticed out of the box in terms of just how good the quality and the overall build is and how they have actually paid attention to the design. This remote is made out of aluminum. It has like a very nice look to it. This kind of matte black finish right here with your whole like navigation buttons all feel very high quality. At the top, you're gonna find your power button that is a different texture. And you also have your settings menu, your Google Assistant, which is one touch. Just go ahead and tell it what you want to play. And you also do have the home button, the menu, the back, the volume adjustment. And there's also an autofocus button as well, so you can go ahead and press that at any time. And generally speaking, it is just like such a seamless and high quality look. So I have no complaints from the standpoint of the actual remote, but it would be nice to have like one button access to certain streaming platforms that you might most commonly use, such as YouTube. So I would say at the end of the day, if you're willing to invest in a good projector setup, this right here is a really good option for both portable and home use. A lot of times you're gonna find projectors out there that are meant to be hung on the ceiling. They're a little bit flatter and wider, but definitely not meant to be brought anywhere. But there are also like portable options out there that are a little bit smaller, but in general are more focused on portability versus like being an actual good projector. Because a lot of the times, if you're just looking to like bring a projector with you, you may not be as concerned about the actual image quality, more so than just having something to use. But I would say this XGIMI Horizon Pro in the 4K model or even the 1080p model is a great option for anyone out there who is looking for one that really focuses on the image quality, has the AI that is built in to enhance based on the different situations, also has a very large throw of up to 300 inches and also an 80-inch image starting from about 8 feet away. But on top of that, it is also very bright, has very solid built-in speakers, full expandability on the ports, as well as an Android 10 based system. And it was just very hard to find a flaw for a projector of this class because it does really seem to pinpoint all the areas that I may have complained about in past ones that I've checked out at very similar price points actually. I think for anyone who's looking to set up a nice home theater experience, and also for those who are looking for an option that is also portable, this is like the best all-in-one package because it has everything you need while also giving you excellent image quality. As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next